Hello, people. Are the thin walls only used in the minimap? Yeah, yeah. I'll be back in a second. I generally read all the valuable chat off my laptop, and the laptop is in the car. I'll be right back. Okay. Hello. Okay, so I wanted to do those quickly, but the main thing I was working on today, last night and this morning, I just felt like it was time to finally do the optimization that I did that intro stream about that I posted on YouTube where it was like, hey, um, we need extra tracking of who is being carried by a particular entity because there's all these loops in the game that are only slow in the overworld. They're fine on all 900 other levels. Um, and I just decided to start working on that last night and got pretty far. And I was going to stream it, but honestly, I was just really happy to just sit there and do it by myself quietly. That was the mood that I was in. So, um, however, there's a little bit of weird stuff that's happening in like one level. There was weird stuff that was happening in like five different cases that were spread across levels. And then I started investigating, right, and solving them. And this is the one known weird problem that was left. And then so after I fix this, I'm gonna run the Benny test again and just see if there's any other weird problems, right? Okay. But so what was happening was, all right, let me step back a second and give you some more detail. Here's this loop. One of those who have seen me pop up the profiler will know that section 5 was this very spiky gameplay code thing that is happening a lot, right? Literally, specifically section 5B. And the thing that's happening is this loop that tests every mobile entity in the world for falling. And again, that's fine for small levels, but for the overworld, there were like 8,000 entities that it's checking every time you move. And it's like, you don't want to do that. You could, of course, try to make checking if things should fall a lot faster. And we may do that as well. But, you know, when you're testing 8,000 things every move and you should be testing 3 things every move, that's where you start. And so I added these tables. What's her job? Tables. I added these tables and they went very quickly. They're not quite, I'm sure if I do some test to like sanity check that the tables are perfect, they're not going to be perfect right now. So that'll be another step we could do. But they're in there and I was able to replace a bunch of code like this. Okay. Now this one is tricky because like the game running correctly depends on this happening because, but so what I've been doing is, I added this thing of like, okay, when something starts falling because we detected via this very expensive loop that it should start falling, print out a message, right? And then all this stuff is stuff that I added recently, like last night, this morning. And what this stuff is, well, we did a bunch of stuff in this code above here that puts things in these various lists of like reasons why we decided to make something not be supported, right? And then this falling loop happened, but instead of iterating over everything in the entity, we could just iterate over like these 6 arrays that we got back. And, that'll be way smaller, right? And in fact, it won't even be what we'll do. So each of these supports to update arrays calls like this function update support. And we could actually make it so that when update support removes support for an entity, which means it's no longer on something, then obviously it should probably fall, right? And so maybe evaluate fall is even doing some redundant work because maybe we already know these things are supposed to fall. But step 1 would be, if we can get it to where all we have to do is look in these instead of every entity in the world, that's a lot faster, right? And so I'm printing out this log message that I could search for every time this code causes something to fall that is not accounted for in these arrays. All right. And now if I can get this down to 0 for the whole game, which it almost was at, then I don't need the very expensive loop anymore, right? Or we could rewrite it to be less expensive because it uses these inputs, right? So that's our goal for right now. And then if we achieve that goal tonight, then there's some easier stuff we could do too. You don't have to optimize games anymore. Just slap some DLSS and fake frames and call it a day. I mean, a lot of people think that. So I don't know what to say. So our game got much faster, by the way. So on the overworld, which is the most intensive level, we're up to, it depends exactly what screen you're on, but we're up to about 25 FPS on the Steam Deck. And that's not that bad, right? Although maybe that is Steam Deck faster when you plug it in. Let me try it unplugged right now. You can hear it, but you can't see it because I don't have a media capture for my Steam Deck. I mean, Switch is definitely faster when it's plugged in. But the point being, if we hit 30 FPS on Steam Deck, that's like not terrible for this game. And of course, we'll try to keep going faster. Yeah, I'm about 22 FPS right now, unplugged. And it should be easy to make that a lot faster because we haven't even really optimized a lot of the shaders yet. This is mostly gameplay code. Oh, and the gameplay code fixes that I have just done are not represented in the FPS yet. Anyway, so we'll be at least 30 on Steam Deck, which means 60 or more on a decent PC. I mean this machine runs it at 120 to 150 depending on what level you're looking at right now, and that number will probably keep going up. 25 at native res. What is native res on the Steam Deck? Is it like 1280 by 800 or something? How do you profile your performance like that in this language? Well, we have a lot of ways of profiling. I mean, I showed some of them in that LambdaConf speech, which you could go watch if you haven't seen that. But also Steam Deck just has a performance HUD built in that you can turn on for any game. And it'll just like put graphs and stuff. And so that's what I was just using there. I just leave it on. Are there any videos on the lighting for the game? We have some blog posts. We have some blog posts for The Witness that talk about what we do for lighting, and it's the same basic thing in this game. There's a blog. I mean, we haven't written an article on the blog in like 8 years, dude. But yes, it exists. Okay. So the weird thing that I saw is on one particular level, there's a bunch of rubble that stops falling and starts falling and whatever. And I think I kind of know, I have a guess about why. So I'm going to look for that. I think if we just do this, okay. So if that does not fix anything, we will see what else we could do. So if I do a test on this level, okay, that didn't change anything. So here's these messages that we don't want to see. When that level is all about smashing stuff. When you smash stuff, you leave rubble. And what you'll see sometimes, I think, yeah. So here, this guy, 1023-1517 is the entity ID, starts falling. But he started falling here. So he like started falling and then stopped falling and all these things. So, okay, how about the first one? Let's see, 1482. Do we ever see, yeah, we see 1482 again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break at this message. Okay. And then I'm going to ask, I'm going to have a debug entity ID, and I'm going to look for if that stops falling. And if it stops falling, why? Why did you stop falling? And we'll just see if we could figure that out. Okay, so, okay. Okay, so we're gonna manually set this variable. We're gonna go no check-in debug rubble ID. All right, and then in falling, okay, so see, I had this check and that didn't actually work. Uh, okay, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so what was this variable called? Um, no check-in debug rubble ID. All right, so that's gonna be 0. We're gonna set it to this value of the debugger. Boom. And then in falling, we don't know which of these is firing, so we're going to put breakpoints in both. All right. So we don't need this. It didn't do it. Okay, interesting. Frustrating, but interesting. I want this problem to go away as quickly as possible. Okay, 1482. Okay, this is weird. Like, it was created at 26 minus 7. And we're saying we made it fall at 26 minus 10. And 26 minus 14. And what? Um, maybe there's something really dumb going on here. Like, what if we're already falling? Let's try that. Because maybe they're just falling a long way, which they are, and we're just falling things, right? Dude, I drink so many liquids in life. Part of the Steam API. No, it's not even in the Steam API. It's literally just a user interface that everybody has. You just go into the settings for that game on Steam Deck and you can turn on Performance HUD. And there's different levels. And one of the levels is like giant, giant, giant graph. Where's my game window? we went for 169 megabytes and then stopped. What's going on? What is happening? I think the debugger was having a connection. Okay, that was it because these are a different debugging message that I was, but you don't see the spams about how we made rubble fall anymore. So let's just go back to that level. And we'll just play the very end or something. Well, I don't know. Maybe okay, you see all the rubble fell. Now, when rubble lands on top of other rubble, it just the meshes go on top of each other. So who knows what? Maybe we'll have visually increasing rubble pile size. Okay, so that seems to be working. So we're going to take out that made rubble. Okay, and then we're going to make a release build. And we're going to Benny test it. And like I said, we're going to see what other of those debug log messages happen. And if we get rid of all of them, then we know we can collapse our loop. And that'll be good. What do I think about randomizer for the witness? I mean, I think that kind of thing is fine if you like the game and want to play more of it, right? It's very different from the original game, right? Because the original game is hand authored puzzles, and the hand authored puzzles have an intent behind them that you're not going to get with a randomizer. But yeah, if you like the puzzles and want to play them randomized, that's fine. I mean, I put a freaking randomizer in the game, so you know that I think it's fine to some degree. Am I excited for Lost Ark or Ark Raiders? Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Ark Raiders. I don't know how much longevity that game has, is what I'll say, because when I was playing it, I already felt like I'm not sure. I'm not sure a month from now why I'm still going to be playing this game, right? But maybe they'll have a reason. I was enjoying it for sure. That's not a diss on the game at all. But I was also feeling, even after 2 days of playing or whatever it was, I was like, yeah, I don't know. Because like the looting was just not as deep as Tarkov and all that. But we'll see. We'll definitely play it when it comes out. I'm gonna grab some snacks while this is going. Back in a minute. Okay. Why do I run this test? Why does anyone run any test? Why is anyone here in life? Any screen space techniques you employ in your renderer? We use a little bit of screen space ambient occlusion, but I hate it. I think screen space techniques are stupid and should die. But we don't really have an alternative right now for this game. Next game we'll do something better. But it's very subtle anyway. That's one of the things that's nasty about Unreal Engine now, is how like everything they do is a screen space technique now, and it has all the usual screen space technique problems. How many levels have final art currently? I'm not sure. A decent chunk. I assume our AO implementation doesn't have black halos around stuff. No, it does not. Is there going to be a demo? We have not decided. Am I planning on going to the Better Software Conference in the future? I don't know. I mean, it has to be at a good time, schedule wise, and that sort of thing, right? I do not have $1 billion, so I could use a private jet to go to the Better Software Conference. Okay. So, part of what we were doing there was making sure that the game still ran correctly. which it does, part of what we are doing is getting a new thing here. So this is the log of what we just did. Okay. So we have, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 14 instances of that code making anything fall out of all those levels. So that's pretty good. And actually, these two in fall reset, I know what they are. It's that the level starts with things falling, and that's actually fine. And to handle that, we would just move the equivalent of this slow loop to when levels start out. So these are fine. These are false positives. The rest of them, I don't know. So let's go look. Delay time V2. Okay. So in delay time V2, lilies go over a waterfall. This is not that bad. So remember how I said the goal is just to cut down that loop to those things that we know about? Well, we could also say, well, it's the things that we know about plus lily pads or whatever, right? And that would still be a lot faster. The one that we can't deal with is rocks here. Okay? Because there's thousands of rocks. Okay. This one is happening because monsters are getting crushed by rocks. And they're getting crushed because they used to be strong enough to hold them up, and now they are not. And I think those are the only rocks. Let's see. Made rock. Oh, no, those aren't the only ones. Oh, but this is the same situation. And then fall reset is a false positive. Okay, so if we fix strong monsters V2 and under pressure, which are the same thing, then all the rocks are gone. And then we could even ignore the lily pads and all that and take the win. We're not going to yet. Why can't an engine selectively render objects outside the viewpoint that would reflect in water like nearby buildings? Because when screen space reflections are doing reflections, they are looking at the screen. Okay? They are looking at what was rendered on the screen. If you want them to see things outside the viewport, then that's a different system. Okay. So this is the level. Let us switch to that. Now, I thought I did something. Hmm. No, I didn't do this one. So what's going to happen is there's going to be some transaction where a monster gets killed, right? No, it's before that. Okay, wait. Wait. Just like in this is one of these things where I wrote all this code across years and it's hard to remember everything relevant. But the reason we know the monster can't hold this up is because we reevaluated that earlier in this function, right? But like we know. Let's remake a debug build. Um, like where do we decide? Okay, so here, yeah, it's here in this function, right? So so we would know that things should fall. It's literally right. This is section 4 and we were editing section 5, so it's literally right here. Um, but also in the character case, right? We should know. Now, I think there was some other case from like last night or this morning that also had monster kill. Maybe not. Okay. Okay. So this is some new stuff that I wrote. This is the support table code that I wrote. It's just 100 lines. 100 lions. So we want get entities supported by E. Guy. All right. Okay, and we're gonna go all right, so, and then we're gonna do the same thing down here. you know, make another one. Um, crushed, crushing, crushing. My name is Wesley Crushing. Um, we're just gonna do this. We can try to factor this together and make it neater later. Like these are basically pastas of almost the same thing. Okay. And then down here, all these spammy loops are going to go away eventually. These are just telling us, whoops. These are just telling us. Oh, they're PIDs. Okay. All right. Do you ever think in abstractions that are concrete within their own cosmology in order to reason and predict the future? What? Okay, we no longer got that message, which means we were successful. So that takes care of. I'm just going to edit the fall log. Um, so fall reset, vacuum. Wait. Oh. Okay, those are the only rock falls, I think. So that was Strong Monster V2. Under pressure. Well, let's check that level. But I think it'll be okay. Bam! See how easy that was? I don't see it. I don't see it. Okay, great. Fall reset V2. So we could get rid of these false positives by adding the code that I'm talking about. Let's do that. And then we'll run another Benny test, I think, right? Um, So we're going to want to do this. And then what else have we got? We've got this one. This is a weird one that we're still not sure why that's happening. It's rubble. It's not gameplay critical usually, but yeah. And then there's these lilies going off a cliff. And then there's vacuum. Oh, falling button. Okay, wait, we've got some other ones. Falling button. Okay, hold on. What was I gonna do? We were gonna check this one. So yeah, that's still in effect. But it's monsters only. But you probably could do this with rocks. So what's happening here? I mean, this is endpoint beam falling. So I feel like we can detect that. We already have a thing that detects um, other stuff. But you know what? I kind of want to take the W on this. Or we'll take care of the false positive. And then we'll just check in and take the W, right? So let's get rid of the weird debug stuff that we did. Thank you for your service. Okay. Gonna remind myself to get rid of this. Okay. So here's what we want to do. We want to this very slow thing. We just want to pasta this, right? Except, well, we'll just copy all this, right? So this is what we want to run at the beginning of the level. Level start check entities for falling. Okay. So this stuff, oh, I just realized that logic, that if statement was bracketed wrong, by the way. Um, that's supposed to be like that. And then these are like that. So that might even make some other messages go away. All right. So okay. Okay, so in level start reevaluate, I should run another Benny test before checking all this in. Um, all right, so we'll do that. We'll verify that works. And that should get rid of our... No, it didn't. Wait, are we calling level start reevaluate? Oh, we literally do post move reevaluate here. So let's do this. Let's add a little thing here. Because we do want priestess stuff to happen. All right. So in section 5, that's all about the falling check. So we're going to go if do falling check. This is just like the goal is to make this code mostly go away. So for now, we're just shutting it up or making it not happen. And then we're making sure our replacement code will do the right thing. Yeah, there we go. Reset the level. There we go. Hard reset. It works. All right, we're going to Benny test yet another, because those are significant changes that I did. We'll Benny test them. Assuming that goes well, we will take the W on these changes so far, and then we will keep going. Keeping going. Right, so there's that purple beam. That's a very special case, right? That's like teleport beam falling. And we can detect that already. It shouldn't be hard. That's probably a lot of the remaining cases. And then the lily pads. I mean, that shouldn't be hard. We'll see. Did I ever land on a laptop that didn't give me grief? Yeah, I'm using a ThinkPad X1 Carbon. It also has some really stupid bugs, but they're not nearly as bad as all the other shit from all the other laptop makers. Like the gamer laptops, like that market segment is just dead now, dude. Because they just don't even work anymore. Who would pay $4,000 for a laptop that doesn't even fucking work and hasn't in years? I don't understand what these people are thinking. How big is the game world compared to the Witness? Is it 10x bigger? I mean, the game is not comparable spatially because it just works differently, right? It's a grid-based game as opposed to a free-form you know, thing. So you can't really compare that way. If I were to guess, you know, how much gameplay is there? Our playtesters are on track for, I'm not going to say how many hours, but if I were to guess, because these guys are good at puzzles, the people who are playtesting, if I were to guess how long it would take them to play The Witness, it's probably 40 or 40 hours, let's say. So this game is probably, I don't know, 6 times as big as The Witness, 7 times in terms of how much there is to play. It's really big. Have I heard of all the reports of Razer not fixing parts under warranty? I have not heard anything about this, but I mean, if everything they ship is a lemon now, how are they in business? How have they not completely collapsed? Like, if every single thing that they sell you should get returned, how are they in business at all? I have the same question for Asus and all these guys. But Asus at least makes monitors that work, right? I guess Razer probably makes monitors too. It's just I've literally never seen a Razer monitor. But yeah, guys, I use a laptop basically every day of my life. And I make video games. You would think that I would want one of these laptops with a fast CPU and GPU, but I just can't. Like, they literally just don't work. I cannot use them. They do not function. I think I left a box of cheddar crackers in my car. I'm going to go get those before my car smells like cheddar. Back in a minute. Indeed. Cheddar crackers. Are you the same guy who asked me about Focus Editor last stream and I told you why? And now you're asking the question again with like, is there any reason besides the reason I said last time? Is that literally what is happening right now? Then why are people asking me about Focus now? I think like guys, I just have 200,000 years of muscle memory for Emacs. And I'm way too busy to switch tools usually. That said, I am very fed up with Emacs and would not mind switching. It's just like I have a fucking unbelievable amount of work to do all that. You guys have no idea. Like even you asking that question just makes me angry. All right. Like you can't see this. In the back of this room are several fucking computers that I have to put together so that we have things fucking running. I can't because I'm working on the game and like having meetings and doing business and shit. Like, Jesus Christ, what do you want? Oh, I only made a compiler and, a biggest puzzle game ever made that's in a new game engine that we're going to give out for free. Why don't you also use the editor I like? Because I'm fucking busy. God damn it. Okay, there we go. No new fails. I believe this is. I know people don't intend to be annoying like that, but like streaming is frustrating sometimes. Like, I would love it if we could talk about meaningful, important things that aren't always like asking me why I haven't done more things than I already do. You know, hey, why don't you become an international chess champion? Because I'm just doing other stuff, man. Like most people, if you were to tell somebody what we do at our game company with the number of people that we have, most people would simply not believe you. They would say that's so absurd. You can't possibly, with like four programmers, have the biggest puzzle game ever made where you wrote all the gameplay code in a systems language that you also wrote in an engine that you also wrote. That's not they would say that's not possible. Okay? So forgive me if I don't use the editor that you like. I'm busy. That's my commit message. Okay, well, we didn't update, so that's great. Trying to switch away from esoteric key maps and get used to normal editors. I mean, I think that makes sense. I would not encourage anybody to start using Emacs in 2025. I think there's very good reasons to have better editors. It's just I can only do so much. How about curing world hunger? I mean, Mr. Beast is doing that, so I don't have to, right? To do.txt always fucking conflicts because it's the pain in my ass. Look at all this shit that I got to do just to get, you know, 1% of my to-do list done. All right, we fixed that actually. All right. Um, progress on removing the expensive Emacs is fine. I mean, yeah, like look, hey, if you like Emacs, that's okay too. Okay. What was I even doing before somebody tried to crush my productivity? I kind of want some really strong black tea, but it's 7 p.m. It's not the best idea. It just gives me energy. All right, so we took the W on that. From the most recent Benny test, we can overwrite our fall log file again, right? Okay. Wait, fall reset didn't get fixed. Maybe I bet post move reevaluate is getting called more than once. Anyway, we'll ignore these. These will probably continue to work. If not, we will see it. Okay, these are the lilies going over a cliff. This one we don't know. These are the purple beam falling. This one we don't know. Um, why is fall reset V2 in here twice? Maybe we were running already. All right. Let's delete both of those. Oh, because we started there before we ran the test, and then we loaded it when we ran the test. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so lily pads fall. Rubble. Monster, monster, monster. Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. Rubble, rubble, switch. Let's look at this level. Okay. What were we looking for? Falling button. This isn't even a real level, or is it? Wait, is this in the this is in the resetters. Okay, but this is a false positive because again, it starts out falling. So like that would be taken care of by our new loop again, right? Okay. This isn't even playable. Is it? I guess it is playable. Okay. Cool. Cool. So we can delete this one from our concern. Lily pads going over cliff. Mysterious rubble. Well, let's see. It probably wasn't there, right? Oh, it's because we smash. out in the middle of the water, we do a do smash. I think we should, right? So that'll generate the message, right? But that rubble shouldn't have even fallen right there. Actually. It should have been supported. Should have been supported. Okay, I'm going to ignore that one till later. We do want to fix it, but it does not affect gameplay. So I want to make all the gameplay affecting, and it's wrong anyway right now. So we'll fix that later on. Okay, vacuum. Let's look at this one. This is the purple beams. Vacuum. This is the purple beams. Okay. I have now downed 2 16-ounce cans of iced tea. So we have this thing called beam supports to update. And I guess that's being set when guys lose beamness. All right. But we already have it set up so that we call evaluate lights and pass back who we need. Like, this is the infrastructural thing that would have been annoying. So let's go look and evaluate lights and see if we can add this case. It should be easy, actually. Right? So when do we add things? Do one beam. Old colors to check. I see we saved things and then reevaluated it. Okay. I see. Okay. So first of all, we shouldn't be doing any of this if supports to update was not set. All right. because otherwise we're looping around doing nothing. Now, if it's a vertical purple beam, this might not be the right check for a vertical purple beam, but let's see. Um, you could start falling even though your beam data, your beam, your colors struct did not change because the endpoint was unblocked. Cleanup should you not register as being supported via teleport in that case? But this seems not to be true, so as a workaround, we always set vertical purple beams here. Okay, so we actually don't need this here. Okay. So when we go do one beam, all right, we're going to do this. Okay. If it's an endpoint beam, aha. Let's call it endpoint beam instead of purple beam. If it's a vertical endpoint beam, so if okay, then wait. We already do this. We already do this. Okay. Like I literally. Okay, so we're going to break here and we're going to see if indeed the monsters are not in that array. Which I. Dude, the debugger just won't run the game anymore. Now it runs it. Ladies and gentlemen, Visual Studio. Like it's hard enough to get work done, right? Oh, look, it removed all my breakpoints as well. That's great. Okay, we got there. We're committing a transaction as expected. Um, we want to check these. I should run it slower so we can see what the screen looks like. Okay. That's strange. Let's keep going. Okay. We want to see the actual frames of what is happening. Okay, it's literally as soon as she drags the mirror under the monster. That's not okay. So it's not the case that I was talking about. My question is, though, why? Why did we not trip that code that I just added anyway? Or like, wait, I mean, we already theoretically, for any purple beam, add this to this array. So the question that I have is, why did we not do that? So let's stop, reset. We're going to test for a little bit. We'll stop it. So now, as soon as I pull this one more, we should hit it. So what I want to do, and there's no timed moves. So I want to just go in here. Right? Okay, here we are. Wow, all this is going to have to change too. Crazy. All right. Um, all right, so we call do one beam. Now we might be looking at the wrong direction. That's my only guess. Like, I'm assuming we make a new beam source info once we bounce off the mirror and stuff, but Yeah, oh, we do light scan. I think, yeah, see, this is the initial direction of the beam. Let's look at the hit, right? Does the hit have a direction when we hit? Beam direction, yes. Okay, this is what's wrong. So, um, this is hit, not beam dot direction. It's hit dot beam underscore direction dot z. All right. All right. All right. We solved it. We did not get our message. That's great. We fixed a bug. Awesome. Okay. Fall log. That's what I want to do. So vacuum is taken care of. That was 3 of our big holios. All right. So now we're down. Okay, Lily falling, rubble falling. We said we're not going to work on that one yet. Smash mid skip simpler 4 samesies. Get through depths probably samesies, but let's look. So that was again a manual smash. So no message here. Post move reevaluate made rubble fall. So when that's a weird one. So when we smash, we should do an evaluate fall on the thing so that we should take care of it at that time. What level is this? Get through depths. So let's look at that. Um, right. So that should be a smash move. Right. And so this is a different place where we have lists of um, what to do. We're using this position was discontinuously vacated, but I want to get rid of that function. And um, oh, it doesn't. Right. So here, when we do a smash, we don't do anything with this. So Okay, this is in completed. This is not in completed. Okay, we don't. Right, this is when we're committing. Okay, this is very annoying because we don't really have a place to put this. However, when we see a smash transaction, we could search for, so Rubble records who it came from, right? Let's validate that. Um, source entity ID. Okay. So what would happen is we will see a smash, we will see an entity ID, and we can search all the rubble for that. And that's annoying, but there's not that much rubble compared to other entity types. All right. Um, okay. Okay. So if we see this rubble, um, okay. So we're just going to do that. Okay, let's see. Get through depths. I probably didn't save it. Dude, it's doing it again. Wait, no, it's not. It went to more, and now Visual Studio's just like frozen. Oh wait, no, because we hit a breakpoint. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just so used to it being unresponsive. All right. Oh, we did quit. Okay, so here. Okay, no message. Smash. Dude! What? All right. Well, is this happening before the thing that we added? I don't think so. Oh, this is in commit transaction. Oh, bro. Okay. So, right. We're okay. There is this confusion about sometimes when you want things to happen at commit or when the transaction is done. And we added it when the transaction is done, but I was forgetting post move reevaluate happens at commit. So let's take out all this valuable code that I just wrote and let us add in here. Okay, so we do this in line 3230, and then down here we have supports to update, which probably is available, right? Supports to up. It's literally the first thing. I did not do good there. The cowboy would not be happy. All right, array add, but this is easy. This is nice because it's way less code than it would have been with the other thing I did. It's way less slow. It's literally adding one known item to an array. Let's see. All right, no message. No message. Let's get a sports cam in here. Done. All right. Success. So that probably is all our rubble cases. Easy clap. So we have one more definitely known case, which is the lily pads. And those are actually fine. We should know. I think maybe we do some cowabunga oriented programming on the lily pads. We should know when they would fall. And the question is, what do we do about that? Because the place where the lily transaction is created is far from things. We also could just say we test all the lilies and evaluate fall. That actually might be good enough, guys. I kind of want that. Okay, but the other thing that I'm thinking is, you know how I copied that loop to do at the start of the level, right? We already have a thing that makes a transaction, and I kind of would like to refactor that. So I kind of want to refactor that and then run a new Benny test on everything. So um, um, so in levels start reevaluate, yeah, we call post move reevaluate way up here, which is why we were still getting our false positive, because we added do falling check down here. but not there. Okay. So that's why that code was still running. So now if we go to well, we could go to fall reset or falling button. We should be able to not have the message that time. So it should be down to literally the lily pads. And if that's true, we could just do all the lilies for now because that'll be, you know, like on the overworld, there's like 40 lilies and there's like 8,000, right? So we would have sped it up by 200 times just doing that, um, which is okay. Also, in the overworld, I don't think lilies could ever fall. But we cross that bridge when we come to it. Okay. Um, right. We wanted to go to fall reset v2. All right. And we loaded the level and we no longer have our message we want to avoid. So that's great. Also for falling switch, same thing, right? Falling, what's it called? Falling button. Boom. Same. All right, we're doing good. So it literally should just be the lily pads now. As far as I know. Maybe we didn't check all the rubbles, so maybe one of them has a different cause, but we would find that out during the next Benny test. Okay, where are we at? What are we trying to do? This is how you know I really need some caffeine, which I'm not having. Um, mm, okay, we can obviously. Is there anything we want to do before the? Oh, I wanted to refactor the thing, right? So that when we test, yeah. So here we're doing this big loop that makes a transaction and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, wait, we have this falls to evaluate thing, right? And we have make falling transaction. All right. And that should do all this stuff. And we don't want to duplicate all that work anyway. So we'll do that and we'll test it on these levels, right? All right. So here's what we're going to do. Instead of two tests for fall, we're going to go falls to evaluate. Okay. And what is a fall to evaluate? Oh, it's got a single move in it. Uh-oh. I think we don't even use that. Do we not even like let's see if this still compiles. Oh, well, we do it here, but then, okay, hold on. Do we need this? This is an elite programmer trick right here. Um, oh shoot. Well, fudge. Okay, we'll leave this here for a second. We don't need that. Okay. Oh, we're looking at it here though. Okay, we'll fake it. We'll fake it. Um, okay. So, do we score fall prior? No. Okay, well, maybe we should, but we don't. Okay. Um, you know what? Screw it. We'll even leave that till later. We're not trying to cause too many problems. We're just gonna okay, and then we're gonna go make following transaction. Manager false. All right. All the rest of this goes away. So this is still has a little too much bureaucracy, but it's at least mundane bureaucracy that is not doing a lot of like transaction stuff that we would rather centralize. All right. Boom. Boom. Awesome. All right. So now we're going to make the release build and we're going to Benny test that. "1950s music." Well, that's great. Let's get this going. What's the best Esquivel? I want an actual album. We're gonna get banned. Hassan won't get banned, but we'll get banned for playing Esquivel. All right. We're going to run the Benny test and we're going to play some cards, but we still haven't applied the patch. Oh, hold on. It's not going fast enough. So we got to apply the patch while this test runs. We need to be on the newest patch level for cards. All right. All right. Let's see the new colors. This is actually good music for playing this game. If we get a one bagger, we could flip this Jack 10-9, put the 10 on the Jack, and the 17 pops and put it back on the 8. That is an if. All right. We kind of really need that 17. Because this is annoying. Okay, we can actually get our one bagger this way. There we go. All right, so now we could do this. We could flip it, 10 on the Jack, and put that over there. And then we made the 7-6 anyway. So we actually didn't even really need quite all that maneuvering at that point. All right. So what now? We can put 6 on the 7, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is kind of, this could be a throw, but like, I just want to do this and pop all this stuff. Oh, you know, we could do the 2 anyway. Let's do the 2. Then when we get down here, the 3, 4, 5, will, that might really make it worth it, right? That might really make it worth it. So, oh, we have a queen here. Did I just clear that queen, or am I stupid? All right, so anyway. The cards are just flying into the universe right now. That's all you need to know about this game. Cards are just... See, the color patch is really good, is what we're saying here. right? Easy clap. Hey! We won the Commodore 1541 floppy drive. The priestess blesses our Commodore 1541. How many fails do we got? Did I put this on 150? I've been putting it at 250 more often because the frame rate... Oh, we've got an extra fail, guys. That's not good. Why do we have an extra fail? That makes me sad. That makes me sad. We'll see what happens, though. What could we have done? Maybe we're making extra stuff fall in the beginning for some reason? All right, snack. Back in a sec. What are our fails in life? Okay. Well, these are what our fails were supposed to be, except this one we made a test for. So we should have 8. Dude, Promise 2 Streamline didn't fail? So, maybe that... I don't know. Anyway. Skipping stones. Stasis. Wand reintro. Mirror flip donut. I mean, these all have lily pads. Did I mess up lily pads? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So we start the level and our character just dies. Because... Okay. Because I didn't do the right thing. Oh! Guys. Remember when I did the fall to evaluate refactor? That was good, however... we want to update support as well. Right? Update support is when it looks for who you're supported by. You kind of want that. So I guess we're going to run a whole other Benny test and play some more cards. Esquivel is so wholesome. Okay, wait. It's still doing it. That's very strange. I was sure. Let's make sure this code is actually running. It is. So why is that not working, I ask you? Let us find out. I forgot to do something, by the way. We want to put that there so that we can step into the support computation. Should have found a lily pad. Lily. Okay, well, we didn't actually. Okay, so we're returning yes. So he's supported. I mean, I'm not sure why I would need to check this, but let us do it. To be clear, I have not looked at the code, so... What is going on? Maybe we already made the Lily transaction? That could be it. That could be it. Let's do this. Okay, well, we're not in the debugger, so let's not do that. Yeah, my current theory is the Lily transactions get created first. Uh-huh. There's a transaction, motherfucker. Lily, see that? That is my decades of programming experience. I can tell you what is wrong psychically. That's what you get for working on the same game for 10 years. It's like being married for 10 years, except without having a hot wife. It's just code. Okay, so what do we do about this? We call this sooner. So initially, we did it here. I don't see where the Lily transaction gets made. Maybe it's in post-move reevaluate, dude. I don't know. All right. What is going on? Okay, this is crazy. What happens if I do this? Does it start working or is it still broken? My assumption is this would start working, but maybe it doesn't. Could I change something else? It doesn't. Weird. Let's break at the top of level start, reevaluate. Okay. Transaction 0. Boom. 0. Oh, init Lily flows. It's right there. Did we move some other stuff? Maybe like something really weird, like undid the mistake even though it was there. All right. Nope. Rebuild. Dude, I started programming in C++ all of a sudden. It's terrible. Hey. All right. We do another Benny test with some cards. Do. All right. What do we got here? We got gold 10, 9. We got red jack 10. We got 2, 2, 2. We got 7 on 6. Oh, see, we got dueling 2s. Do we have an 8? Do we have a 5? Ugh, okay. So we got to put 6, 7 on the 8, which also cock blocks this 2, by the way. But this 16 doesn't want to go anywhere. So maybe we just pick one of the 2s. Green 2, green 3. Red 2. Red 3 is in Bolivia. So I think we take green 3. But then we have like 9 on 10 with jack on 10. This 9, okay. This is really important. We need to get jack and 10 onto like the queen. Which we sort of can do, I guess. Or the king, by the way. Okay. So sandwiches like this are really important because they clear 3 fragments, right? You have fragment 1, fragment 2, and fragment 3, and it puts them together. It's a higher scoring move than you would think. All right. We got Okay, hold on. Yeah, I set it to 150 out of habit. We're trying 250 these days. It should go a lot faster. Do, 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 do. Can do this. We can get red too by giving up our slot for a little bit. Actually, we can get red and blue too for giving up our slot. It seems like a move of desperation, but that's what I'm gonna do. Boom. Boom. Wait. I said red and blue. Where's red 2? Oh, yeah. So we do that. We do that. We do that. All right. And then we have 5 and 4 here. Green jack. Oh, yeah. We get our slot back. That was the good move. And then we can get gold too. And the 20 is annoying. Okay, we can do this. Get our slot back with the 4. All right. Cool. We can do this. I don't know why. I think that's been available for a while. I kind of want to take the 2, but it's sad because we won't get these. We need some arcanas. Look at this 0, 1, 2, 3, 9 heinousness. How's the game doing? Halfway. Oh no, we got so many fails. Oh my god. All right, well, our solution introduced a new problem. This is why these kind of hacks stick around so long, is because you don't want to break all the stuff that you break, you know. You know? I don't know what to do here. Oh, we get our slot when we do the 2 now. Duh. Duh. Easy. The pain that comes with trying to do it is smarter. Oh, I agree. It's just, it's also, like, I save it for a certain time in development, though, right? Because, like, yeah. It's not that fun, and if you're drowning in other grueling things, it can just, like, be a little too much, right? But now the game's mostly under control, even though we have playtesters who are telling us everything's broken all the time. It's still not, it's kind of under control, you know? You know? Just like this game of cards, it's under control. We just don't need arcanas, is what we're saying here. There's no need. It's literally, you just don't. You just don't ever need to do arcanas in this game. They are unnecessary. This is the weirdest that I have done. Right? At some point, we're going to get us some arcanas, and hopefully we don't get shafted. You know what? We can get priestess, which is our best one anyway. Oh, maybe not. I think it'll get 2. Oh no, we're gonna get 3. I should have put the 3 over there. It's fine. Hey, look, our thing's done. All right. Oh my god. So it's gonna be something about now things falling in the beginning or something. Oh, because we're not evaluating protection, right? So here the cleric's gonna start out flying. I don't understand how this worked before. I kind of do, but yeah, okay. So before, see that? Before we were evaluating support more than once, okay? Um, So we got to factor our thing. See, the thing is, okay. Get test for fall. Get entities to test for fall. All right. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to return that. All right. And then we're going to go to test for fall is level start get entities to test for fall. All right. And then we're just going to update support on that. And then later, we're going to actually do this part. Okay. So now that's happening before the lilies. Dude, I don't know how that even worked before. This is like one of those things. All right. So let's see what that does. We're breaking the whole game for 2 levels. No, not quite. That's an overstatement of what's happening, but okay. Does this work? Yes. Hey, that works. That works. All right. We're going to do yet another Benny test because probably we fixed most of them, but this is our excuse to play cards again. You're just trying to get the cliff notes of the important stuff. Yeah, no, I get it. Like, I mean, that's everything, right? Like when I manage the team and work with people, I try not to be Mr. Negative or whatever, but the job is to like point out and fix what's wrong, right? That's just what it is. So I get it. I get it. All right. What have we got here? Green 2, 0, gold 2 in the same column, but gold 2 is pretty far down. Red 2 and 21. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Blue looks pretty good right now. Except there's some friction. Red looks a little bit good. 7 on the 6. 13 has nowhere to go. But 10 did. Does not. Well, it does. Well, okay. That's annoying. It's annoying. Okay, we need to put a red 8 in here. So that's going to kind of drive this. Again, like I said, these are like more valuable than it might seem. So we need a 5 for the 6, 7 so we can get the red 8. Or we need an 8, which is under. All right, so we've got to do this. Problem is this 9 is really annoying. And this 4 is really... this is tangled. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when we first deceive or whatever. All right. I'm at a loss for a good first move here. I might have to throw a card in the hole on the first move, which is not generally generally, if it were here, would not throw a card in the hole the first move. The generally would jump over the hole on the first move. That's just what would happen. I mean, I kind of want to YOLO this. Like, it basically almost works. I'm just going to start doing stuff, all right? If I mess up, then rip. Right? So now we need to get... Oh, this just goes over here. What am I even talking about? So now we need to get this 1 off. Oh, no, because this is 2 cards. I can't put the 8 in here anymore. Oh, no. Oh, no. You know what, though? I could do this. Okay. And then we could probably put this over here on 6, 6 and 9 and all that stuff, right? Boom. And then still can't do this maneuver on, but we're not that far from being able to do it. Oh, actually, if I put the 4 in the hole, I put the 6, 7 on the 5. Then I can do the 8. Then I get 0, 1, 2. I'm just going to do it. This is kind of a YOLO. It's not, though, because, yeah, it's a good YOLO. Whoops. What am I doing? Wait. Oh, I almost threw. The point was to do that. 5, 6, 7. All right. So now we do this 8 there. Okay. And then 9 goes over here. 8 goes on the 9. 3, 4 go. There we go. There we go. That was what we needed. We're up to blue 5. Gold 4, red 4. How are we doing? 500 fails 5. That's on target. We might be good for now. This is a really annoying card configuration because we have 3 2-baggers and no 1-baggers, which limits our options. We could get 21, 2019, 8. Yeah, let's just do this. This is also a YOLO. Um, because it takes our slot, but we get a 1-bagger here. So now we have 2. Or we could pop 3 gold, 4 gold. That might be better. Let's try that. Dangerous. We're playing a dangerous game here. But okay, I almost want to swap that onto the queen, but that's GG's if we do that, probably, maybe. Um oh, let's do this. Get another 1-bagger. And that gives us safety margin to do this, I guess, maybe. But we really just, if I had somewhere to put the 5. All right, let's do this swap-a-rooney. There's just a mess of blue up here, man. All right, we could do this. This is sad. It is sad. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Hey, look, our test's done. 9 levels failed, which is probably correct. Well, that level has no falling on it, so well, that's so we like it passed here, but not during the Benny test. So we have some state leak in the Benny test that I have to figure out. What do I do here, guys? Did I lose? Did I have one of these horrible times when I died a terrible death for not being careful enough? I mean, I really might be dead here, guys. I need chat to swoop in with the move that saves the day. Highly productive development session. That's great. All right. We're gonna take the W on this. I think I lost the game. And that puts us in the position to do my much more hacked version of that loop Oh, well, okay. We should go back and check the fall messages because we still have those from the Benny test. Working on, still working on removing the slow falling check. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. You had a move. You had a move. I haven't closed it yet. Oh, this is a move. That's a move still. I forgot about that. I mean, this doesn't get us that far, but maybe, maybe eventually. Because now we could put the nine. We still can't put the six. Ugh. Okay, we can swap these now. Okay, wait. I want to do this backwards, right? Oh no, because I can't lift the two. All right. So that's pretty good. This is very close to gone, right? Your whole move is redundant now. Okay. Well, we have reconfigured some cards, but I don't know. I don't know if we're stuck. Okay, we could get two popped, but 4-3 will then be a problem. Not good. All right, so we could swap these. That's good. I really, I don't know what to do still. Flip blue 9-8 because you have to do the blue 10 first. That's true. But I still can't do it. I'm one card off from being able to do it. This might be the worst throw we have in a while because it looks so clean. Like we're a hair away from winning the game. But this might have been a throw. Like literally anything will win the game from here. All right. Do I give up? I mean, usually there's something that I just don't see. Like if this king weren't here, we win the game, right? Easily. For example, among many other things. All right, well, good game. So, on this weekend night when I woke up this morning and I was like, I'm just going to go dancing and then I'm going to go to the park and just lay in the sun. And then after dancing, I didn't totally feel like laying in the sun in the park. And then we got a playtester email with like, stuff is broken. So I was like, okay, I'll fix it. So I sat in the sun for a little bit and watched an hour of the Charlie Kirk thing, which was good, but did not really have a big break day like I often do. Well, that's not even true. Like I was looking forward to doing. Okay. Um, so the whole point of all this was this thing now. This whole thing, I can now change instead. So this is still going to be messy and stupid, but that's fine. We're going to slowly iterate because this is such a painful topic, right? Um, Instead of this, we are going to do the following thing. We're going to put this all into section 5A now. Okay. We're going to go. All this stuff here, by the way, which also, thank you for your service code. All right. So we're just going to put all these into this array. And it's going to look like a lot of code, but on the overworld, it is way better than what we've been doing. All right. So okay. So supports to update, beams, supports. These are all entities, right? So I could go array add or fall dot dot supports to update, right? Beam supports to update. Beams, whoops. Dude, Emacs. Beam supports to update too. Rubble supports unprotected crushing. Supports to update. Okay. So we put the Q sort inside the test if it's not empty. Okay, Rubble supports to update. Those are Rubble. We don't need them to be. We have a contravariant implicit cast error. We will covariantize our You know that old 80s arcade game Contra? It's about when you have contravariant casts. All right. Contra was for arcades too? It was originally arcades. The console version was a port, right? Contra Arcade. Full playthrough. Yes, back when times were simple, guys. Back when times were simple. All right. I mean, what should we... I mean, that level worked, but there's no... Oh, God. It didn't work. Interesting. You know what I meant to do was have a little fail-safe. So the common solution that I do is I do all this stuff and then see if the array differs from the other one, right? But like, what is different here? What is failing? It looks like things fell in the water, but wait, the skipping stone just fell. It literally just fell. Oh, you know why? So when we made the 2 tests for fall, we were doing some filtering operations that we're now not doing. So let's do it in the opposite way. So we add everything. We're just going to do this gather operation, and then we're going to strip stuff out. Okay. See, you don't have to run the debugger. You just be psychic. You watch a little video of Contra to remind you about how video games used to be relative to how yours is now. And then that makes you fix the problem, honestly. Hey, look at that. Boom. All right. What was that one level called? Fall. Reset V2. We'll test this. And then we'll just do a Benny test. Spoilers. Wait, did that... Why is the monster not animating? Is that just because we're in the test? Yeah. Okay, great. Release build. Are we planning on releasing the 3D renderer? We're going to release the whole game engine. You guys are pretty far through the game now. We're going to run out of game. We can't keep patching more game in. The game will not be infinitely long. I guess we got to play cards again, even though we lost last time. $21 with a 2 under it. That's great. Jack 10, 9. Queen with a 6. Blue 2. I mean, there's a lot of blue. I'm just going to start there. And then this green 10, we wish could go over here. So, okay, well, I maybe fucked that up because now we want this 8 to be off here and we can't. So I could push this the other way. We get the 8 off there. We put 10. I mean, I don't know. This is not really better, right? Also, this can all go on the queen soon if we get that, right? Green 4 is really annoying, though. You had maybe seen half the levels. You have probably seen a lot more than half the levels. It might seem that way, but I believe now, unless our level solution count is off, I believe if you look in the menu, right, your solved count is probably in the 600s or maybe 700 by now. Now, you have played multiple versions of levels sometimes, but I wouldn't expect that to be a very large number. You know, like when you went back and played the Heroes levels and stuff that got revised. Both the old and the new one would still be in that counter, I think. Maybe not. I don't remember. Oh, I think I did something so it wouldn't be. Anyway, I think you're like at 6 or 700. $494 plus 84 plus, oh, that's lower than I thought. It's still way over half, significantly over half the game. 84. So what it is, the 494 is small stars, right? And the 84 is big stars. And then the 10 is like, you know, gold area teleporters unlocked. So yeah, you're at like, you know, 578 or whatever. Um, which is, it's around 2/3 of the way through the game. Something like that. And then the other thing I would say is it's probably in reality a little bit past 2/3 because all the really big mega levels, um, almost all of them have happened, right? And so I don't know. Maybe that's not quite true. All right. Anyway, yeah, you're well past half, is what I would say. All right. Run the Benny test. Okay. 9-10 Jack. I don't know what to do here, guys. This looks like a hard opening that I feel stuck. I need to go talk to a psychiatrist about how I feel stuck. I don't remember why I wanted this gold 10 anyway. Maybe just for that. It doesn't seem worth it. Okay. Let's just start doing some entropy reductions that are safe because I don't know what else to do. So obviously we can throw this in there, get 21 2. 9 Arcana really isn't going to go somewhere soon. But if that's the only one, we can make a new slot with it, right? But King, 9 Arcana plus King plus 16, it's too much. All right. Um, we've got a 17 19 here again. So this 18 could go in there. So if we were to put green 10 in the hole, 5 on the 6, 21, green 2, go. And then we would have to take care of the 10. And like the 9 is there, the jack is there. Doesn't seem that easy yet. It's a little too early for that kind of maneuver. Why is this game so hard? I think it's because I'm out of brain power. Out of brain power. Where's my white chocolate bar? Am I going to get canceled for eating a white chocolate bar? Where'd it go? It's a poorly known fact. White chocolate is actually made out of brain cells. So you eat it and they swim up and they join your brain cells. That's how it works. Yeah, I need a day off, honestly. I'm going to take I mean, I can't take Monday or Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Maybe I'll take half of Monday or Tuesday off. Look how good this is doing though. Hey, that's a major milestone that I've been waiting years to do. You know how it's like, oh, we're doing this really slow, crappy thing, but one of these days, sure, baby, just come with me and I'll be a really good boyfriend and one of these days I'll do that thing for you that I'm never going to do, right? Um that's what it's like making a video game until the very end of development where you start catching up and you can actually do these things. All right? I'm going to YOLO this cuz I just see this happening and you know, it was too tempting. I mean, that seems not that bad what I just did in some way, shape, or fashion. Okay, what do I do from here though? Did I throw or is this savable? Did I throw or is it savable? Savable. Savable. This again, it looks a little too messed up. I don't know. This might have not worked. You write it in Unity and then it doesn't work any faster. Yeah. White chocolate is stored in the balls, by the way. That's what they say on the internet. All right, guess what, guys? We got through the whole game with our new code with maybe not any new fails. Yeah. So that officially means we can ship this. And things being what they are, there may be a little bit of playtest fallout that we discover eventually, but we have enough time to do that. And if you guys remember, the whole reason I was doing this was we had really spiky CPU. Like I did a stream a month ago or whatever where I showed debug build on the overworld, which again is like a little or substantially slower actually than like a release build on a slower platform, but it still shows you, where you have some things to work on, right? And so, whoops. So like here, um, we've still got this drawables recompute all moving entities. That's something we can work on separately. But now in simulate, uh, there's no section 5 popping up at all now, right? We've got update. Oh, well, we're calling post move reevaluate. Okay, so now the slowest thing here is section 4, which is like 1 millisecond or whatever. So we have massively, massively improved the speed of this. And what I want to do is I want to upload a playtest build to the Steam Deck and see how that goes. But, dude, I'm so happy to be saying that sentence that I just said. That like, oh my God. Because this was a thing it's just been a weight on my shoulders for a long time. Not a serious one, because it's like, yes, of course you can rewrite the code to not be abysmally slow. It's not rocket science. But like the entire career of gameplay code development for this game has been about um just dealing with stuff that's not rocket science, like annoying things not working, like we did on this stream today, but to a way higher magnitude, like assaulting you from all directions all the time. So, you know, it's good. It's good to be there. Let's do this in release build, right? We'll do the same thing. And as you can see, it's going a lot faster anyway. I mean, this thing is 1 millisecond, so we're going to want to get rid of that. But simulate is 1 millisecond now. And half of that, or no, the whole time is update move transactions. Post move reevaluate is much faster. It still, as we saw, has some things that we should hunt down. But like other parts of update move transactions are slow now, but they are slow in the same way that gameplay loop was. Like update move transactions iterates over all the entities every frame, and it does stuff that's cheaper with them than the thing we just optimized out. But I want to ship a Steam build, guys. And then the playtesters can deal with any fallout. But maybe more importantly, I could try on the Gabe deck just to feel the game running a little smoother. All right, while that's running, we'll see if we're dead. Why? So some days I just blast through this game and just feel invincible. And I win like a lot of rounds in a row. And then, some days it just seems a lot harder. But then I flip back to it and it's like, oh yeah, I can do all these things. So, uh, yeah, it's just how much brain power do I have? Like some days I'm really a lot smarter than other days. It's astonishing. Um, and it's kind of weird. It's like what is people's variability on IQ tests just based on what kind of day they're having? Like I'm sure mine would be pretty high. So like how seriously can you take an IQ score that isn't like averaged across a month or something? You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense to me. 16. Um, we'll do that. Whoops. I thought that was a stack. I had, was just sort of looking. I was looking at it. All right, so oh, I can't. This is also not a stack. So I was gonna swap these, but I gotta flip this onto the queen. And I don't have a one bagger to do that with. All right, we can do this. King up, bam, bam. And then we do this. And then we do this. Well, and then we do that. And then we do this anyway. We won the game. I mean, what do you want from me? What do you want? We'll get the wheel or justice. We'll get justice. All right. All right, we win. I think our manifest is probably done. That doesn't take that long. All right, we got to make a build one of these as well because that's what we ship to people. I'm going to put some juice in my Steam Deck while we wait. All right, everybody, this is great. I mean, this is how you know that you are getting close to the end. I mean, we're still far from the end in normal human me- measurement, where people think a year is a long time. But for me, I just blink and 300 years go by before I notice. And so on that time scale, we're pretty close. So I have these molecular hydrogen tablets, and they leave like a weird magnesium or zinc crust or something on all my glasses. So And I haven't been careful about which ones I drink them out of, so I don't know. I hope I can get like some vinegar or something and it'll get rid of it. I don't know how that works. All you did was run errands. I mean, sometimes the errands stack up. I need to do some things with my apartment. I've been living here frickin' 2 months, and like it's still not together. Okay, we're packaging the game. Okay, let's just make sure it runs. It always does these days, but just making sure it runs. Nice. Nice. Oh, we're frame locked at 60 because I guess we got VSync turned on. I guess we don't have like a screen for you to turn off VSync and all that. Maybe we should. The gamers will complain if you can't. Although this might actually be because we're at displays. No. Okay. All right. So here's the fun part of the stream, guys. I'm going to go into high security mode. And we're probably going to drop some frames for like 5 minutes. So have fun with that. I'm sorry, but the Steam upload just is not kind. Haven't started complaining, but you noticed. I'm not sure what you noticed. Uh, did fix the weird animation bugs that were happening on VRR. I don't know what that means either. It was frame locking to 60 if it doesn't hit 120. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're doing swap tear by default or something. Um, so certainly we will expose some options for people. Or I guess that's not swap tear. That's just like vsync of one or whatever. All right. We uploaded it to Gabe. I will download it on Gabe's console. Why does everybody think Valve's frame trademark is for a VR device? That seems to be more like a new Steam Deck, but that also plugs into your TV like a Nintendo Switch, right? That's what I would guess that it is. Why did people think that that's VR? Variable refresh. You notice the game sometimes had some animation skips when you were running with FreeSync. I see. That's something we could look at for sure. All right, we have updated. And now, so I don't expect the overall frame rate to be much higher than it was on average because um, we're shader bound at this point on Steam Deck, and we just need to do some shader simplification and turn off some features maybe for low end platforms. But it's oh yeah, it's a lot more solid. Yeah. Yeah, we're still averaging about 22 FPS on the start screen. 23 if I go north. But yeah, we no longer have this spike. And then especially on Switch 2, we're not going to have to worry about the spike. So, yeah. I mean, honestly, in terms of gameplay code, we could probably stop optimizing there. I do still like we could. It wouldn't be great cuz like I said there's still in the move transaction code there's still like on this machine the desktop here which is fast there's like 1 millisecond per frame in there which there shouldn't be but um that'll be easy. I don't want to do it tonight because my brain wants me to take a break. My brain is like, dude, take a break. It literally said that to me in English. So that's where I'm at. But I feel good about this. And maybe we'll do that other one on stream too, because people seem to like optimizationings. But yeah. Success. Switch 2 is more powerful than the deck. I don't know, is it? You guys out there who follow the sites, I haven't actually done any spec comparison. Is Switch 2 faster or slower than Steam Deck? They're pretty different. Is the game going to be on Switch? Maybe. I mean, certainly we would like it to be on every platform where people play a lot of video games and will buy it, right? Is it on Switch at this time? No. Might it be? It might be. Switch 1 is much slower. Yeah, well, um we're probably not going to do Switch 1 for this game. It's just it would be too hard of a port and you know, probably not that many sales relative to Switch 2, but who knows? All right, everybody. That might be the stream. Switch 1 has a GPU that runs circles around the CPU. Yeah, that's not great though. Cuz the problem is Like that's great if you're trying to maximize the numerical specs of the machine, right? But it's just games have bottlenecks on CPU code, and if the CPU is slow, those just get a lot worse. Like that was the big thing with PlayStation 3 is like all the coprocessors were really fast, but the main CPU was kind of slow. And the theory was, oh, just put everything on the coprocessors, but that's really hard. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. We could actually find someone to raid today. We haven't done that in a while. I don't know what SD is. I'm not a Switch Nintendo gamer enough to know what SD is. Uh, Software and game development. Migrating Git Kraken from Flow to TypeScript. Langgraph. Retro MMO. Content. What is good? Dude, I hate that they named this fucking algorithm wave function collapse. It's the stupidest thing. Like that's wave function collapse is the boss monster of trying to come up with super badass name for very obvious thing, you know. I don't see anyone doing very serious programming. We could do adding content to my retro MMO.
My God.
Let's do that. All right. Thanks everybody. See you later.